This mini tutorial shows how to calculate a confidence interval for a sample using a t-table by hand. Now I'm going to start with the information that we have a sample with 10 observations, n equals 10, standard deviation estimated from that sample of 0.5, and a mean estimated from that sample of 4.0. And the question we're going to answer is, what is the 95% confidence interval? So the first thing that we need to do, we've learned that the 95% confidence interval, or any confidence interval, over 2 times the standard error. Okay, so in this case, x bar is 4.0. Now this t sub alpha over 2, alpha is the confidence or the significance level. For a 95% confidence interval, alpha is 0.05. So alpha over 2 is 0.025, and in the aggressity table B, you can see it shows you both. For a confidence level of 95%, you look up t 0.025. Now, we need to know the degrees of freedom. It is, since n is 10, the degrees of freedom is n minus 1. I'll just jot that down. Degrees of freedom equals 9. So I'm going to look under this 95% column till I get to 9 degrees of freedom, which is 2.262. So 2.262 times the standard error, and the standard error is the standard deviation, 0.5 divided by the square root of 10. So I'm going to do this in a calculator. First, the standard error is 0.5 divided by 10, and hit the square root button. So that's 0.158. So 4.0 plus or minus 2.262 times 0.158. Remember, your order of operations, multiplication comes before addition, so we multiply these first. I'm going to multiply this times 2.262. And that's 0.357. So this is 0.358, rounding up. So the 95% confidence interval, so we have I'll just put this in memory and go 4 minus that. So the lower bound is 3.64, and I'll start rounding off here. 3.642, and the upper bound is 4 plus the 0.358, and that's 4.36. 4.36. And that's all there is to it to get a 95% confidence interval from a sample using the t-table. Note, if we wanted a 99% confidence interval, we would have used this column instead. So we would have used 3.25 instead of 2.262. And that's all.